Well, welcome everybody. For those who did come on a little bit later, as we're doing our Zoom, if you will, make sure that you have your microphones on mute so we can alleviate any background noise. And also utilize the chat feature, which is at the bottom of your screen. And if you have any questions, pop those questions in. Also, I think, DeAndre, will you be taking you'll be capturing all that information right through chat. So if your question isn't answered while we're doing the webinar or the Zoom meeting, we can also make sure that we reach back out to you and get answers to any of your questions. So, all right, so can we get started? Let's see, Kathy is gonna share her screen with us. Thank you, Kathy. So first of all, just want to say welcome to everybody who's here today. Again, my name's Lisa Hermes. I'm the president of the McKinney Chamber. We did a little bit of a revamp our membership team of our benefits and breakfast because we really wanted to talk about the things that the Chamber is doing in the midst of all of the changes that are happening right now that you're going through, the crisis that's happening not just around the world but really in our own backyards. So the one thing that I wanted to make sure that we emphasize today is that, you know, just as I heard so many of the businesses talk about the resources that you have, together we are McKinney Strong, and we have so many different resources within our chamber with over 1,380 members. So a lot of people that can help you, whether, as you heard today, even on our call, we've got someone in financial planning, we've got someone with behavioral health, you know, obviously, HR and just all the different things that are out there. This is the time that we can really work together as a business community and as a community to support each other during this time. So please do share all of your contact information, and we'll make sure that we help promote you as well. So, all right. So one of the things that I guess we can go ahead and move to the next slide. Sorry. Okay, so never before or ever before, I don't know what's the right way, the correct grammar in saying that, are our vision and our mission and our values, I guess, the most important, but during this time. So our mission is to lead, connect, and empower our stakeholders to advance business and community excellence. And we actually, our board went through a process not that long ago where we wordsmithed what our mission and our vision and our values were, and I think it was really important because they took the time to talk about how we are here not only to lead and help our members, our investors, and our community, but also our community as a whole. Because if our community as a whole is strong, then that's going to help businesses flourish. So we really do believe in helping every single stakeholder here in McKinney, and working with the city and working with CDC. Linda's here on the call with us with CDC, EDC, Visit McKinney, our school district, our community college, all the different stakeholders to make sure that our community is a strong community. And that only in turn helps our businesses be able to thrive. Our vision is a globally competitive, vibrant community for current and future generations. So the work that we do today, we want to help you be successful in your business, but we also want to lay the groundwork that we have a strong community for future generations as well. And then of course our values are servant leadership, collaboration, integrity, and empathy. And as you look at each of those words and you put that in context with what we're going through as a community right now, I think that's the most important. Those values are so important today. So, all right, I guess we'll go to our next slide. So some of the things, so all of those, because of our mission and our vision and our values, one of the first things that we did in response to the COVID-19 pandemic was to immediately work with, using collaboration, work with our community partners to do a couple of things. First, on our chamber resource page, we developed right away, Keith King, who's our communications manager is actually on the call right now. He immediately put together our resource page. We started gathering information from U.S. Chamber of Commerce, from our congressmen, from our chamber members themselves who have resources, and we started compiling lots of information. And so he's going to be going over some of that later, but I encourage you to go, if you go to our website, you can click on the link, it's on our homepage, and view all of those resources. There's a list, we had our staff divide up a list of all of our restaurants, including non-member restaurants, because we wanted to support those that were hardest hit by the COVID-19, which is our retail and our restaurants and our hospitality and our travel industry. They were hardest hit right away from everything, our venues, anything where there was a social gathering that could happen. They were directly impacted. So we wanted to make sure that we were communicating what type of services they were still providing. So we called the restaurants, we called retail, and asked, are you still providing limited service? And can we help promote you? So there's a list of those restaurants that are on board, so that we're encouraging people to utilize them at this time, because we want to try to help keep them in business. So we'll go over a little bit more about that again a little bit later, what's on our resource page. But another thing that we worked with was CDC, Linda, thank you, as well as Visit McKinney and Main Street McKinney, is to right away put together a support local, buy local campaign, and purchased t-shirts, and you can purchase these t-shirts. There's a link that's on our website. It was processed through Main Street, and you can see a beautiful picture of her wearing a t-shirt right now. So support local, McKinney Strong, or hashtag. Those t-shirts, actually all the proceeds of those shirts go directly to a fund that we will be splitting up between small business and nonprofits that are hardest hit by the COVID-19 crisis. And then another grassroots group kind of came together that's also led by the city, the school district, business owners, and that is One Heart McKinney. And that website is oneheartmckinney.com, and it was just recently launched. And there are different buckets that you'll see: education, shelter, food, jobs. And we're working together to get information out to the community about where you can find resources. So the One Heart McKinney is a little bit more of a social services type site. It is a grassroots site that's funded by the Seed Project Foundation, if you know Rick Wells and his team, as well as Independent Financials Foundation, and also the city. So lots of great resources there. And I just saw Karen Ferris get on the line, or get on the call. I wanted to let you know one thing. I was talking with a business owner the other day, and they said, there are so many resources out there. Obviously our websites have information, but sometimes you need help just navigating through the process. And the reason why I mentioned Karen is, and also Tammy is on the line too, Tammy Tobar. While our staff is officing from home, and we might have one or two people go in periodically to check mail and do different things in the office safely, obviously, we are still answering phones. So Tammy and Karen took phones from our chamber to their house. And so if you call our phone number, somebody will answer the phone and help direct you, guide you through any questions that you might have. And if we don't have the answer, we'll be able to provide that to you. So, okay, so moving right along. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about what a Chamber of Commerce is, first of all, which I think is really important, because that you kind of understand our structure. So we are a nonprofit organization. We're a 501c6 nonprofit. So we're not a charitable organization. We are a business trade association. So we are supported and funded solely through our investors, our members. So when people join the chamber, you are our customer and you are investing in our organization. So we are supported through those dues, and then we are also supported through some other things that we do throughout the year. So events and advertising and other opportunities that we that you have to be able to market yourselves. All that money goes to support the organization as a whole. We are often confused with being a part of the city, and that's easy to be confused because we work so well with our community partners, and we work with the city on a lot of projects. As we talked about our values, collaboration is one of those values. So we collaborate quite a bit with the city. And again, I shout out to Linda again, because we work with CDC and we work with EDC on a lot of projects. So I think that's really important. You know, as Linda talked about, CDC is working on some potential small business grants that will be rolling out through the city and through CDC funds. We're working together to try to help craft what that looks like. So we appreciate the financial support that they're putting out there, but it shows the collaboration that we have with all the city entities. So a little bit about who we are too. We are a 5-star accredited chamber. So what that means, I guess the question is it 5-star out of how many stars? Well, it's 5 stars out of 5 stars. And that's through the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. And the reason why that is so important, or why we believe it's important to you, is that it's a long process to become accredited, and you are benchmarked against other chambers with the 5-star accreditation that puts us in the top 1% of chambers in the nation. So that means that your investment and your dollars and the work that we do is actually is very secure and is very is top rated among other chambers. So you can feel good about where your money is going, and that we have all the policies and the governance and the programs and membership and advocacy and all the things, HR, technology, all the things that we are graded on. Basically, we're one of the leading chambers in the nation. So we're very proud of that, and that's due to our leadership that we have from our board to our volunteers and to our staff. We actually operate 2 websites, so that's something that I think is important also to note, and we're going to go over more in detail the differences between the 2 websites and the opportunities that you have to be able to utilize those websites, whether it's showcasing and highlighting things that you do as a business, and connecting with the community. One website obviously is our chamber website, and the other, and that's McKinneyChamber.com. And it's a B2B website, would be the way I would describe that. A lot of business resources. Then we also operate McKinneyOnline.com, and that is more of a B2C. So it's really more to the community. And as you know, that now that everybody is working remotely and connecting through technology, our traffic that we're getting to our websites, thanks to the resources and people needing to get access to resources, the traffic to our website has increased tremendously, and you can see those numbers that are on the screen. We are, as I mentioned, we have 1,380 members, and so that makes us the 3rd largest chamber in the Metroplex by number of members, and 5th largest by budget, according to the Dallas Business Journal. So again, we're proud of the size of our organization, and I think it goes to show again that when we talk about McKinney Strong, it's because we have such a strong business community that our businesses really do come together and they want to collaborate, they want to help and support each other, and they were doing that prior to the COVID-19 crisis, and now than ever before, they've come together again to help each other through this time. Some other key, I think, facts is that we also have a lot of traction on our social media. And again, we'll go over some of the things that you can take advantage of on our social media a little bit later. But we have over 20,000 followers between all of our different channels. We also are very proud of our Leadership McKinney program. So we'll talk a little bit more about that later, but we are in our 31st year of Leadership McKinney with over 647 graduates. I'm a graduate myself in '09. I'll say it's the best class ever. And since you're all on mute, you can't dispute me. And you also can't laugh at my jokes. So kind of doesn't really work that well. But we are really proud of that program because a lot of the people who graduate through Leadership McKinney are in leadership positions throughout our community. So whether they are serving on city council or boards and commissions, they're also serving in our churches, in our PTAs, they're serving on boards in our nonprofits, and they're leading in their businesses as well. So that's what that program is all about, to sharpen your leadership skills and also learn about how you can contribute and give back to the community. So, all right. So talking about that's kind of Leadership McKinney is a great segue as we talk about our programs in our community. So we operate, there's lots of ways to get engaged in the chamber. So there's ways to have greater visibility and to connect and to network, but there's also ways to connect through programming that might make sense for you and your company. So some of our programs include our ambassador program. You see our ambassadors as they go to ribbon cuttings and they do goodwill calls. They are that goodwill arm, and they represent the chamber, and they're there to help connect you to resources and that are available through the chamber, but also help you just connect in resources that they might have, and as they are seasoned business professionals themselves. We also have a Leadership McKinney program that I just talked about. We have a leadership alumni, so all those graduates, we want to keep them engaged, and they do things throughout the year, including our Serve McKinney event that's going to take place virtually now, not in person, but in June, where we help connect the community as a whole to opportunities to serve nonprofits or to serve on boards and commissions with our city. They also help put on our 9/11 Day of Remembrance ceremony every year, where we honor our first responders. And we also remember what happened on 9/11. And they do other things also, fundraisers, other things throughout the year to connect and to continue. They also help, they partner with our Young Professionals program, where we put on a professional development summit in the fall. So we can't wait till we can get to the fall and be able to host some of those events. Speaking of our McKinney Young Professionals, that is another program where we help support those young professionals that are 40 and under, be able to, again, sharpen their professional development skills, as well as connect with one another and grow as business leaders. And also just, we want to make sure that we're growing our next set of leaders in the community, that we keep our young talent here in McKinney and that they're becoming more invested. They do a cheers to, one of their events is Cheers to Charity, but that actually kicks off a Christmas in July program where they pick a nonprofit every year that they support. And this year it is Embrace Texas. So if you know, our young professionals are a very philanthropic group. So you'll be seeing a lot of information come out about ways that you can connect there. We also have our links program. So that's been going strong for, gosh, I don't know, maybe 20 years now, perhaps. And that is our weekly networking event where people gather to give their 30-second commercials. And yes, they are timed, but they connect with one another and talk about the things, what they can provide. It's kind of our meat and potatoes networking. Because we're not able to gather in person, we are now doing it through Zoom. And so that's why DeAndre and her volunteer leadership team, Lisa Hammett, and those who help run our Links program have done a phenomenal job transitioning that networking program through Zoom. So if you're interested in getting up in the morning every Wednesday morning and having coffee with us and networking with your chamber members, this is the best time to do that. So if you want to do that, I see Kathy is in chat right now, and she says basically if you want to get on that email list, make sure that you chat, send us an email or put it in chat that you want to be on that email list, because obviously for security purposes, we email out a new link to that Zoom meeting each week. So you want to be on that email. Another program we have is our Senior Services Alliance. And so our Senior Services Alliance are a group of businesses who serve our senior population, and they are meeting on a monthly basis. Again, all of these programs are still holding events and doing things, but they're doing it all virtually. So our Senior Services Alliance are actually meeting, they meet monthly. They're taking their monthly meeting to Zoom. So they'll be doing their Zoom meeting actually tomorrow. Gosh, I don't know, sometimes it's crazy to know even what day it is. Our days are running together, but tomorrow is their next monthly meeting, and they network and they connect, and they build their grassroots community because they all serve the senior population. They also have a business directory that they are putting together, and we're partnered with Community Impact to get those resources out to our senior population. And then we also have our Women's Alliance of McKinney, and there's an event coming up, a lunch and learn that they're going to be hosting, but they do many different things throughout the year. They do some business after hours. They have a Women's Business Summit, Power Your Potential, that happens in the fall, and we're really excited about that. They're still in the works and planning that. They do quarterly lunch and learns, and we have a lunch and learn coming up, and it is just a way to connect with other women in business, whether you own your own business or you are a professional in a corporate setting. We've got the programming to help support you and empower you and help you grow as an individual, and also grow your business through that programming. We also have our Government and Legislative Issues Committee, and that committee meets on a monthly basis as well. And again, it's now virtual. We do it through Zoom. We have different speakers that will do presentations, and that's usually based on what are the current things that are most important to businesses when it comes to government legislation. So our last speaker that we had was Missy Bender with Raise Your Hand Texas, which is a foundation that supports public education. But we also had Congressman Ben Taylor come on the call with us to talk about the response from Congress for COVID-19 and chatted with our group via Zoom. So anyone can, if you're a member of the chamber, you can be a part of that conversation. You can join that committee. Also let us know. We'll put you on the email list so that you get the notifications and the Zoom meeting link. We have our next speaker is actually going to be from the North Texas Municipal Water District. Of course, we're going to be talking a lot about COVID-19 and the different resources that the federal government, state government, and our local governments are providing. So we'll continually keep you updated. I mentioned earlier, as we were waiting for people to get on the line, one of the things that we do is we advocate for our businesses. So today we are going to be, when I get off this call, and calm my dog down from barking, we'll be calling our congressmen and getting, and our senators, urging them to make sure that they put additional funds into the CARES Act, because we've heard that that those programs are running out of money this week. So, and we've got a lot of small businesses that while some are being processed, there's a lot of people in the queue, and we don't want that money to run out. We need to make sure that we keep paychecks flowing during this time so that our small businesses can recover. So you'll be seeing an email come out, but those are the types of things that we do. We advocate on your behalf. So with that, I talked a little bit about some of the things that we have coming up, some of our upcoming events. We have a calendar of events on our chamber website that you can always check periodically. One that's coming up that I hope that you are all, if you're interested in participating, is our Women's Alliance is holding one of their lunch and learns, and their theme this year is Women of Business, and they're taking it obviously virtually. And we have some great speakers, panelists who'll be providing information, and these are women of vision in the nonprofit world. So there's a flyer there, and we'll be happy to connect you with that information if you'd like to join us in that lunch and learn. We also are taking our spring quarterly luncheon we first postponed it since it was going to happen in April. And now, as we are listening to the health experts and want to make sure that we're keeping all of our members safe, we're taking it virtually. So we're going to be doing it through Zoom, and we have our speaker is actually, so prior to COVID-19, the theme was going to be healthy communities. So ironically, I think that is the most appropriate topic that we want to talk about during this time. And so Baylor Scott and White McKinney is our title sponsor, so we'll actually be able to hear from them, and I'm very interested to hear from them as they've been on the front line of providing healthcare to our community during this time. And then we'll hear from Dr. Kyle. He was going to be our speaker before. He's worked with McKinney Alliance, which is another organization in our community, and they funded a study called Thrive, and it's about how to flourish in various aspects of our well-being of a community. And that study was commissioned prior to any of this happening. And I think that really goes to show that McKinney's been on the forefront of making sure that we are a resilient community, so that when things like this happen, that we know where there might be gaps, and then we know where we might be able to connect those resources. So Dr. Kyle was part of the team with UTD who helped with that study. So he was, and he still will talk about some of the findings of the study, but we're gonna kind of also transition to how do you be resilient during this time? If you're a small business owner, or if you're in the corporate world, or you're a parent trying to homeschool and work from home, we'll be having a conversation with him about that. So we're really excited to be able to provide that information. And then of course we've postponed our golf tournament, and I can't wait that when we can finally all be together and breathe in some fresh air on the golf course at the end of August 31st. So you'll be seeing information about that. It's a great way not only to network, but also to be able to highlight your business, sponsor, connect with other business owners during that time. And it is one of our largest fundraisers as a chamber. So I will put that out there, because just like your businesses, as we're going through this time, in order for us to provide the resources that we do for our businesses, we have to be able to fund our operations. And so that's one way that we're able to do that. All right, so a couple of things, getting discovered. So as we talked today about your business and what you provide and being visible in the community, there's lots of ways that you can get discovered. We have an all members mailing list for our investor partners and above. So if you are at that level of membership, you can take advantage of that right now if you want to do a mailing. We also have, we also sell new resident lists too. So if you're trying to get connected with new residents in McKinney, we can help provide you with that mailing list. We also partner with our neighbor, KLAK, which is our local radio station. And so if you're a new member, you should be getting an interest form. Fill out that form, email it to DeAndre or Tammy, someone on our membership team, and we'll get that over to KLAK. And they will interview you they'll interview you and then put you on air. Don't worry, you won't be live. They'll make sure that you sound wonderful. But it's a great way to also get your information out there on a different medium, a different media platform. We do have our new member showcase in Business After Hours. That is still scheduled for June 30th as of now, and a wonderful way to network, get to know all the new members. New members receive a free table, and then we invite the community to come out and our businesses and get to know what type of businesses are joining the chamber, and really do that more relaxed networking, not quite as structured networking as our weekly links. And it is our Business After Hour. And that's at El Dorado Country Club from 4:30 to 6:30. And then of course we have our ribbon cuttings, and as soon as we're able to gather more than 10 people, we'll be resuming our ribbon cuttings for our investor partners and above. And those are actually open to anyone to come. We encourage you to, if you are hosting a ribbon cutting, if that's your ribbon cutting, invite your clients and the people that your circle of influence. Our ambassadors come out, and they also come and welcome you, and we celebrate you, and we cut the ribbon. If you want to check out when those ribbon cuttings are taking place, we have a separate ribbon cutting calendar that's also available on our website. All right. So I am, so this is some of our, we talked a little bit earlier about our increased traffic in our two websites, our McKinneyChamber.com, and you can see actually it's a screenshot of what our homepage looks like right now. If you go to that homepage and click on COVID-19 resource page, it takes you straight to the resource page. And if you provide a resource, contact us because we're constantly, and by we, I mean Keith, our communications manager, is constantly updating that page. And if you are talking to a client and they may be asking you for a resource and you're not sure, direct them to that page. You might find that information there. Also, our McKinney Online, we talked about earlier, is more of our B2C. And as you can see, there's great stories that are out there for the community, and you can submit some of those stories as well. All right, moving right along. Okay, so I think this is my cue actually to turn this over to Keith, who I just mentioned, so that he can talk a little bit more about our websites and also our social media. So I guess we can stop highlighting me as a spotlight video. And
good morning, everyone.
There we go. Hi, Keith. How are you?
Just fine. How about you?
I am wonderful. So I'm going to mute myself and let you take over.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Keith, and yeah, I'm the communications manager at the Chamber. Like Lisa just mentioned, we do have two websites that we're in charge of, McKinneyChamber.com, which is more of a business-centric, and McKinney Online, which is more community-based. So for McKinney Online, there's the news that we have. We also have a calendar of events, and you can also post a lot of deals that you may, coupons, create a coupon on there and get more business to your store. So those are basically the differences between the two websites. Now, briefly, we also mentioned the uptick in traffic we've seen recently, and just to give you an idea of the numbers we've seen the past month on McKinney Chamber, we've had 36,000 page views. Which is a really big increase from what we usually have in a month. And McKinney Online, we've had about 22,000 page views. So that is combined, roughly 58,000 page views in a month, which is fantastic. A lot of eyeballs on a lot of businesses in about 30 days. The next slide will kind of touch on more of social media stuff. We have a lot of social media. Facebook, I would probably say, is our main social media page. We have on the Chamber of Commerce Facebook page, there's nearly 11,000 likes, over 11,000 followers. McKinney Online, there's I think nearly 6,000, and we've also had an uptick in reach, post reach the past month on those two pages combined. I wrote it down here, nearly 33,000 post reach for those two pages the past month. And that's mainly once we started doing all these COVID-19 updates, mentioning our resource page, all of that. It's just, people are looking for information. They're looking for information on how to get help for their business, and social media is a huge avenue to find that information. We have Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, which is more of a business-centric social media page, and then YouTube. Now, all of them, I am updating. I'm trying to update them as regularly as I can. This is a perfect place for you as a business owner to promote your business. You can tag us if you'd like, and I will go through those tagged posts and try to share as many of them as I can. This is also a good time to bring up the McKinney Strong hashtag. If you post something that has to do with the McKinney Strong hashtag, that attitude that we kind of have all come together the past month or so, this social media is the perfect avenue to do that. People search that hashtag, you'll get noticed. We can share that as well. We're always trying to look for ways to promote our members and people who do the McKinney Strong hashtag in a unique, fun way. Whether they're showing the McKinney Strong T-shirt or anything else. It's a great way to do that. My cat wanted some attention, so that's him right there. Those are the ways that you as a business can get noticed on social media, and we can try to help you do that, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, or possibly YouTube. YouTube, I am updating that as well with different videos. Webinars are being posted there. We have we teamed up with Brian Liebold to do some tips on how to work from home. I've posted those videos there, so if you're kind of struggling to make that work, check those videos out. And the next slide, we will kind of talk about our email. Every month for the chamber, we have a monthly newsletter, and that kind of just updates you on what is going on at the chamber, the upcoming month. It looks forward. And on McKinney Online, we have the This Week in McKinney, it's called. It's a weekly digest, weekly newsletter that gets sent out to well over 5,000 people at this point. And it gathers events. Most recently, the events have all been virtual. So virtual, like live Facebook concerts, virtual trainings, virtual seminars, things like that. Those are all those are now events that we're posting on McKinney Online. A lot of news. Byron Nelson, for example, just announced that they are moving to McKinney in 2021. So that is a press release that I got, and I posted it on McKinney Online. So it's always being updated. And this is a good segue into press releases. Press releases, you should have or be getting a template. If you don't know how to make a press release, just ask one of us and we can easily get you that template. But in order to post on McKinney Online in the news section, you do have to follow certain guidelines that we have. And if you want to post in the news section, it can't be just like an ad. It can't be just hey, come to our restaurant, you get $5 off. It can't be an ad. That is for the deals section. To get approved for the news, it must be there must be a news peg in there. So the American Shaman, if you go on McKinney Online and look for an American Shaman news post where they shared they're donating cleansing wash to first responders. That's a good way of finding a news peg while all this COVID-19 stuff is going on. They're donating some cleansing wash to all the first responders in the area, which is newsworthy, and it's something that a lot of people are interested in. So it has to have some sort of news peg. It needs to be a picture as well. Otherwise, I'll send it back to you. Job posting. We have a job posting board on the chamber page, and we strongly encourage you to check that out. If you are hiring, go post jobs there. You know, it's something that I know a lot of people have been laid off in the recent weeks, and there are also several businesses that are doing well and are currently hiring. So if you are hiring, you can post a job there. If you're looking for a job, go to our job board and see if something matches what you're looking for. And then lastly, the member chamber logo will be something that that you get as a member, get access to as a member. You'll either get one mailed to you. It's in the form of a window cling, so you can kind of just slap that against your storefront window if you have one, or your car if you'd like, or something like that. There's also a digital one that you can download.
I guess
High level
there it is.
information on how you get noticed.
Okay, thank you, Keith. I think it's next to other ways to get the word out, and just kind of to summarize with what Keith was talking about, you know, during this time, we want to share news about you and your company, and we want to be kind of work with you. Yesterday, we met with via Zoom with the Comedy Arena. They're doing a lot of things to, you know, do virtual events and stuff. And so we're brainstorming with them. How can we work with them? One of our members get some great news about what they're doing, and then help our members with some, you know, fun comedy related things during this time. So I just encourage you to contact Keith for resources on how to get the word out about what you're doing and what ways we can partner together. Because I think that's that whole McKinney Strong. It's together. What can we do to help get the word out about you and your company? So
Kathy, if I might add, in the packet, in the email I had sent out yesterday, included a PR template. So for those who aren't writers from the get-go and needed, you know, some example of how to write a press release or an article, that was included in the email. So if you didn't receive that email and you need it, please let us know and we can send one out to you.
Yeah, and what Keith will do is help you know where to post the news, how best to share it. You know, we've got lots of options, but he knows where your potential customers are and what the best way to share that is.
Yeah, I do want to mention, if you do have questions about anything that I just talked about, please let me know. You know, I'm here to help you. I don't want to be a roadblock, and you know, just contact me and I will make sure you get noticed in some fashion or another.
Great, thanks, Keith. The next thing we're going to talk about is some of the advertising opportunities. In the next couple weeks, you're going to get our reload guide, which is the picture of the singer on the bottom left. We do a print magazine. We do 10,000 copies. We send them to our members, and then we send them to out in the community. So you'll be seeing that coming out in the next couple weeks. There's lots of advertising opportunities in that. We start opening that up for advertising, typically the middle of the year. We'll work with you for the timing of, you know, the payments. I know budgets may be a little bit tight this year, but we can work with you on a payment plan. It starts very reasonable. The ads start at usually $600. They can go up to $2,000, $3,000 if it's the back cover, inside cover. There's some advertorial opportunities, but there are price points for every budget. And it's also a resource for you in the back. It lists all our members as of, you know, the time it was printed. But if you have a waiting room, or if you are working with people moving into the area, it's a resource that you can share as well. So we have a digital copy of last year's up on our website now. DeAndre can show you where that is. We'll have a digital copy of the new one in the next week or so. That'll be available. But it's a great resource about what's happening in the community, great resource about our members to get the word out. But with McKinney, we have 200 to 300, sometimes 400 new residents a month coming in. So, you know, being in a guide like that is very valuable. Lisa talked about our Senior Service Alliance. What we do is also publish a resource guide for senior communities and for people like me who I've got my parents and I'm helping manage their needs. So it's a great resource guide for families that have seniors with needs. Our SSA guide, we're going to start opening up advertising. It will be going out at the end of this year towards December, I believe, because that's the timing with Community Impact when they're doing a senior guide in their publication. So we publish, I don't know, a couple thousand, maybe 5,000. I'm not sure. Lisa, do you know the number that we publish for this?
It's 25,000 of the SSA resource guide that gets distributed to higher medium
25,000?
Correct.
Yes, and we actually publish 30,000.
Oh, we lost Lisa.
Yeah.
So
I guess 25,000 go into the newspapers and then another 5,000 that we have to hand out. So
yeah, because it's in cooperation with Community Impact. So the 25,000 copies go out to higher median age routes. So it's very targeted to the senior population, and not just the seniors, but the children of seniors in the area as well.
And so in order to advertise in that, you have to be a part of the SSA. The cost of that is, I think, $50. DeAndre, is it $50 to be in SSA?
Yes, it's $50 for the year, and it's person specific. So if your company sells or services the senior population and supports them in any way, it is a great organization to be in. As Lisa had mentioned earlier, they are meeting tomorrow morning for their monthly Zoom meeting. So that's a great way to meet some of the members that are currently in this group, as well as have a listing in the back of the resource guide when that gets published this year.
Great. And then we do have a community map. So we'll be working on advertising for that. Typically that comes out about the middle of the year as well. So you'll be hearing about that. And there's a digital copy on our website. And then our McKinney Online, we have advertising opportunities there from $200 to $550 a month. You do get discounts if you do a 3-month bundle, a 6-month bundle, or a year bundle. If it's a year bundle, you get a 35% discount. But we've got a lot of traffic on that site, so it's a great opportunity if you want to market to the community at large. We are looking at opportunities to market with our other platforms, such as McKinney Chamber's website and our e-newsletters, things like that. Our COVID-19 page, because we're getting so much traffic there. So companies that want to be noticed for resources in those kinds of platforms will be in the next couple weeks sharing some opportunities as well. So growth in our digital footprint and the amount of traffic we're getting, I think there's some great opportunities for advertising digitally. Even though we've gone to some virtual events, we still have sponsorships available. We have the CEO series, and it was sponsored by Credit Union of Texas. They were able to give a presentation, in the beginning of that event. Our Women's Alliance of McKinney, their luncheon is sponsored by Regions Mortgage. Again, they'll get some good marketing pre-event, during the event, and post-event as well. One of the most popular sponsorship opportunities is for our weekly links networking. When we were meeting in person to sponsor that breakfast and give a 10-minute presentation, you actually physically brought breakfast, and that was your investment. Now that we're going digital, there is a $75 investment to sponsor the breakfast. So if you're interested in links and want to learn more about that, it's a great opportunity. It is a popular program, so we typically book out for the sponsorships, but sometimes people can't sponsor. So if you want to be on a wait list, it's an opportunity for you as well. We have lots of different events coming up. In the chat, I mentioned that Baylor Scott and White is our sponsor of our quarterly luncheon, and the theme is healthy community. So we really try to tie in your sponsor needs with the programs that are going to be the best fit. And obviously, we didn't know when we were booking this event, as Lisa said, we didn't know what we were about to be going through, but it's very timely. We will work with you as a company to look at who do you want to get in front of? What kind of budget do you have for sponsorships? We'll talk to you about what type of programs are best fit for you, how's the best way to get your information out, and we can craft a sponsor package for you where you can look at the different opportunities throughout the year. Now that we've gone to a lot of virtual events, there's going to be new and different sponsorship opportunities. So I encourage you to reach out to me, and I can help you look at the different opportunities, different ways that we can help you sponsor both virtual events and live events. Some of the live events that we're hoping that we'll be able to host, obviously Lisa talked about the golf tournament. Our title sponsor is First United Bank. We have all different levels of sponsorship, from a whole sponsor, $250 up to several $1,000s. I think the highest level that's available now is $3,000. So there's all different price points in between. You can sponsor, the carts, you can sponsor the lunch, the dinner, all different opportunities. So we can kind of go over those with you. We also have a Women's Alliance of McKinney conference in the fall. That's in September. Our title sponsor for that is Baylor Scott and White. That was part of the package that they asked for, but we've got lots of other opportunities usually it's a $100, $200 price point up to probably about $2,000. So any of those kinds of events that you want to learn about, the pricing is based on the number of people you're in front of, the type of exposure you get, but we'll work with you to make it a best fit for you. Any other sponsorship opportunities, guys, that you think I should talk about on staff-wise? Anything else I missed? Think I got it all? We do, Lisa mentioned this before, but we have a lot of residents that move to our community. We do a bag stuffing where we have physical bags and things of flyers and promotional products that can go out with new residents that have new construction with their new recycling bin. That's on pause now because of the shelter in place, but we still are selling the new resident lists. There's about 300 to 400 names a month. People are still moving, and if they were in the process of moving, shelter in place didn't stop them. So we have lots of new residents in McKinney every month. You can purchase a list for $25 a month. You get a spreadsheet with all the name and the address. One of our companies, a dentist, when I moved into the area about 2 years ago, I got a welcome to the community letter. Then maybe a couple months later, I got a new patient special, different flyers and things that they sent to me. So it's a really effective marketing plan if you're looking for helping with getting in front of new residents. So I think that's my part, and I think I'm gonna stop sharing the screen and let DeAndre hop on to showcase our website so that you guys can see a little bit about where things are. And this is a good time to continue asking questions in the chat if you have any questions.
Thank you, Kathy. So I know we have a couple of brand new members here, as well as some longtime members. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the top of my page and I can't. Okay, hold on, technical difficulties. Give me 1 second, you guys. So as Keith mentioned earlier, we have 2 websites, and I wanted to show you just where things are so that you know where to find them. As we mentioned, some of the event calendar and the COVID-19 resource page. So this is the McKinney Chamber website, as you can see, and we have our big banner here for the resource page. If you click on that, you're going to find that we have all those resources that Lisa had mentioned. Let me get this a little bigger. So we have some great webinars that talk about small business, the SBA loans, upcoming webinars with town hall meetings. We also have the McKinney Strong T-shirt campaign. Here's a link directly to that campaign where you can purchase a T-shirt. Lisa also mentioned about how we have resources for our restaurants, retail, and B2B for companies that are offering specific COVID-19 resources for members and the community at large. And specifically for the restaurants and retail, you don't have to necessarily be a chamber member in order for us to be including you in these lists, because we are here to support the community at large. So definitely do check out this website, this specific page, because there's a lot of information that we have gathered, including from MISD, childcare, tips on working from home, as we are all struggling with that. I know I am for sure, while I'm homeschooling my kids. But back to the website, as you can see, the event calendar is right here for all the upcoming events that you may want to register for. So for the April calendar, we do have at the bottom our Women's Alliance Vision Lunch and Learn. If you wanted to register for that particular event, it's quite simple. If you have a login created already, it's going to be utilizing your email address, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. If you want to learn more about some of our staff, there's a button right here, our board of directors, and you also see our major investors as well under this tab. All the major companies that are part of our chairman's circle, our top tiered investor sponsors are all part of this list. And then under membership and benefits, you'll find links to all the different groups that Lisa had discussed. We have our ambassadors, our leadership program, Young Professionals, Women's Alliance, Senior Service Alliance. All these tabs will give you much more in-depth information on these groups, the committees that are currently chairing these wonderful programs of ours, and a lot of information on upcoming events that obviously some of which will be postponed. Under business toolkits, you'll find our relocation guide that Kathy had discussed. Also some other information like SCORE is a free counseling service that anybody can participate in and take advantage of. There's SCORE counselors all over the nation that offers mentoring, counseling support. And then also in What's New, you'll find some of those hot deals and job postings that Keith had discussed that you guys have the opportunity to post as chamber members or soon to be chamber members. So for example, Sheraton has a package, Sweetwater Bar and Grill inside the Sheraton has a buy one, get one appetizer option. So utilize this page. People are coming in and taking a look. Job postings, if you had any job postings that you wanted to offer, you can also have that displayed right here under the job postings tab. And then, so how to log in. If you want to click on the login button here, again, your username would likely be your email address that we have in the system. If you have never logged in before, if you're a brand new member like Lori from Grand Communication, you may need to create a new login right here, okay? If you've forgotten your login, it's been a long time, definitely utilize the forgot your password. It's really simple and easy. Now, I did prior to this meeting already sign in. So this is an example of one of the members portal. When you log in, you automatically get entered into our members portal. This is where you as a chamber member have the opportunity to build out your listing. And I will go back and share an example of a listing with you momentarily, but this is the back end of how it all works. So on the left, you have a number of tabs. We have a personal information tab where you can enter your own personal information and add to it. The system's a little bit slow. My kids are probably already logged on doing their homework. But here, this is an example of one of our members' profile. So as you can see, he's done a great job. He can add a personal profile if he'd like. Just make sure you save all the changes. And then most importantly, there's a lot of sub-tabs within, so he can add a photo, interest, social media links as well. So definitely spend some time, you as a member, to log into the Chamber Members Portal and fill out this information. And next, I'm going to go through the company tab with you, because this is where a lot of the meat and potatoes of your business listing will live. The company profile summary page will show you how complete your member listing is. So as you can see, Methodist McKinney has done a fantastic job. They are at 100% completion. A lot of you might need to do a little bit of work, but you can go to the next tab and complete information on the company. If it's a white box that you see, meaning you have the opportunity to make changes to that information. But if it's a grayed out box, that means that is not available to you to make changes. Employees, if there's any employee changes, if you'd like to add employee information. I know, for example, when Lori set up their account, she had added Stephanie because she wanted to make sure Stephanie was receiving our emails and our information. So this is where you would be adding an employee or a representative to your company. Or if there's any changes and you wanted to delete somebody who's no longer with your organization, you can also do that here. Website information is particularly important. If you're an investor and partner and above, you have a lot more capabilities. So for example, again, grayed out boxes are where you cannot make any changes, but this is where you would add all your social networks, Facebook links, LinkedIn links, and make sure you grab the full URL in order for the links to be working properly. And website description, it will tell you specifically how many characters you have available to you to add that information. And I really implore you to add more than just 2 sentences, because I'm sure each company and organization that you have, has a lot of services and products to offer. So really fill out this entire section. And the highlights, this is more specific for our investors, partners, and above. This is where you can have bullet text that bring people back to your website. So on the left would be the bullet text. On the right-hand side would be the actual landing pages of your website. So be sure to, first of all, pull in the full URL so that it will lead people back to your website. But make sure you fill out this section because it's really important to get people to be moving back to your website. Keywords, use as many words as you can because obviously we want to make sure you are found and you are seen. Logos, if you have any logos or photos, definitely this is the area that you would do it. Super simple, you just update logos and save it. And then photos as well. I know Methodist McKinney has quite a few photos that they've uploaded. This is all, great information to be included in your business listing. So if you wanted to collapse everything, just click on the home button right here, and then you go and you'll see that all the tabs will reappear. This is where you would update any hot deals. So for example, Trish, if she was offering any specific deals coming up with the hail season for roofing, she can add a deal here. News releases can be uploaded here. If you had a job posting you wanted to add, this is the tab where you would do it. If you wanted to connect with other members within the chamber, obviously for security reasons, we don't give out email addresses, but through the directory here, you can look for specific categories of companies, if it's real estate or healthcare. And if there is a representative added here, you can actually send an email to these representatives directly. So this is a really great way for you to connect with other members. If you're a relatively new member and you want to shoot Baylor, Scott & White an email to say, hey, we recently joined the chamber, really wanted to connect with you and share some of our resources that we have being offered right now, this is a great way to connect with other members of the chamber. If you wanted to register for specific events, you would click on this event tab and it would pull up not only chamber-led events, but there's also events that our members have posted through this portal. So for example, right here, you'll see a community workout. I believe that is Camp Gladiator. They're very active in posting their workout events here. So that's a great way for you to share your events. Here's another one, Clifton Strengths online workshop. We are, I think this one is, directed by the chamber or shared by the chamber, but this is, lots of great events here that you can promote or sign up for. And then resources. Keith had mentioned about our member chamber logo. If you've just joined the chamber or have been a chamber for a while and want to utilize our chamber logo to show the community that you're a proud member of the chamber, this is where you would download that logo. And you can either add it as a hyperlink to your website or download it as a file that you can add to your marketing collateral. So this is McKinney Chamber, this is the members portal, and I'm gonna just go back to the front end and give you an example of what Methodist, their listing looks like, because they've done, as you saw, 100% completion of their listing on this website. Kathy, is there anything that I've missed that you wanna add?
No, I think that's a pretty good overview of the chamber website. And just remember, the people coming to this website, it's, you know, more business related types of things. So you want to build this out, make sure that you're taking advantage of this information, but you don't want to ignore our next website, McKinney Online, that is more of a community-based website as well.
Perfect. So this is Methodist McKinney's listing. They are of a higher tier, so you'll see a little bit more capabilities to their listing, but they have their full banner, their logo, contact information here. The About Us section obviously has a fair amount of information. That's great. And this is the highlights that we mentioned earlier, the bullet text. These go back directly to their landing pages of their website. So this is a great way to drive traffic back to your website and build your SEO. These are the photos that they've uploaded, quite extensive. So there's a lot you can do. It just takes a little bit of time. And right now we're all working from home, a little bit more flex on time. This is a great time to build out your listing and make sure everything is in working order. So McKinney Online is our public website, as Lisa had introduced and Keith had mentioned. There's a lot of information here. Members, including yourselves, you have platinum level access on this website. So not only do you have a full listing capabilities, you have the opportunity to post articles right here through this news tab, events, as well as deals. So just to give you, a little look, these are some of the articles that either Keith has posted or our members have posted, and they're broken down into categories. So we have an arts and culture, we have the business news, we have city and government news, community involvement, and I'm going to use CBD American Shaman as an example because, as Keith mentioned, they posted an article here on how their company has donated medical grade cleansing wash to the local community. So this is their article, great picture. It's, draws you in. The article is here. You can have actually embedded links that go to specific pages. And on the bottom, it always connects to your business listing. So we're going to go ahead and look into CBD American Shaman's business listing because they've done a great job as well. They've uploaded a logo. They have their contact information. They've enabled that people can email directly to the system to them. They have hours of operation listed. So this is the first information page. We also have About Us. They've added a couple of sentences about who they are, what they do. They've connected their social media. They have their Instagram, their web, their Facebook, and Yelp all connected, which is fantastic. They also have a virtual tour, which we probably need to take a look at this link. It's obviously not working really well, but this is a possibility for you to create on your listing as well. And the great thing about this website is whenever you do post an article, it does archive all the articles that you've posted. So as you can see, American Shaman has done a fantastic job posting articles throughout the last couple of months since they've joined the chamber, and it all sits in one place and keeps it all together. And they also have some photos here that they've uploaded. So this is what it looks like for their business listing. If you had any events, so for example, if Linda had any events from the CDC side that she wanted to share, she can upload an event by submitting an event here. This is one of the places that you could do it. But these are, we have a very robust event calendar here, and these are all public community posted. So a lot of our members, a lot of the restaurants, Cadillac Pizza used to post all their live music events going on. So as you can see, a lot of things that are ongoing that are on here. And deals, if you were a pool company, if you're a dentist, if your Capital Health does virtual trainings right now, you can post online deals here as often as you want. It's a great way to market your products and services. And we have a wide range of companies that are offering things that are going on. And if you've never, so as this is a separate, complete separate website to McKinney Chamber, as a new member, or if you've never claimed your listing before, as soon as you've joined the chamber, we create a listing for you, and you do need to claim that listing. So all you have to do is click on the sign in, sign up button. Up down here is going to be a sign up. You're going to have to sign up if you've never done so. And again, utilize your email address, and it's quite simple to do. Once you've done that, you're going to search for your company. So for example, this is Grand Communication. They've just joined. I'm calling you out again, Lori, I'm sorry. But let's say Lori creates a sign up for herself. And when she looks for her Grand Communications business listing, and this is what a blank one looks like, there will be a button on the right-hand side that says claim this. And once you click that, there's an approval process, but then Lori, you will be able to go into right here, it would say accounts, and you would be able to go in there and build out your listing. You can add articles, add events and deals. So a lot of things that you can do on this website. Again, just takes a little bit of time, and what better time than now to build out your listings and create your online presence through the offerings that we have at the chamber. So I'm going to stop my screen share and see if there's any questions. Feel free to unmute yourself if you had any questions about either the business listings, the information that we have discussed throughout this whole meeting. Anything? Don't be shy.
Let's see.
So the news releases on the chamber directory thing that you were just showing us, those are something we can upload ourselves, but news releases that we want on online McKinney, we need to go through Keith on? Did I misunderstand that?
So you can post yourself to McKinney Online. So once you've logged into McKinney Online, you'll see 4 different tabs in front of you, and from there you can upload an article which Keith will receive and go through the approval process. Or if you had any questions or needed some more guidance from Keith, you can actually contact him directly, and it's kking@mckinneychamber.com, and he can provide you that extra support. That's what he's here for. Sorry, Keith, I hope that's what you're here for. Great question, Linda.
I think one of the things to remember is any of the articles that you post on McKinney Online, Keith will look at those. The most newsworthy ones will be up in the top banner. So when you saw there was one about the Byron Nelson front and center. Also, one of our members, he does travel, and he had a travel related thing, which a lot of people are talking about travel. When can we travel again? So those are the articles that, you know, Keith will, you know, help highlight. And then on the weekly newsletter that goes out every Friday, he'll include those newsworthy articles, the events, those kinds of things go out to all our chamber members, but also the community who has subscribed to McKinney Online. So if you want to get the word out to the community, putting a newsworthy article, like Keith was saying, something about you know, that all residents would need to learn. So not a commercial exactly for your company, but something that the community needs to learn from. Those are the things that are great for McKinney Online articles. What other questions do you guys have for Lisa, for DeAndre, Keith, any of us about the chamber, any of the things coming up, ways we can help you?
So this is Lisa. You know, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's on the call today, and just to encourage you that as things come up, you have questions, reach out to us, call us, email us. Our job is to help serve you and to help you be able to get connected to the resources you need or the information you need, or to make connections with other people and grow your business, whether it's through education opportunities or through marketing and visibility. and we're always looking at, you know, one of our internal values that we have as a staff is being innovative, enthusiastic innovators. And so we're always looking for new ideas. So please keep sharing. I think we learn from you as much as you learn from us. So that's really important to us to be able to hear from you. And also let us know how you're doing during this time. I think this is a really, wow, I don't think I've ever like this before. And, you know, it was challenging after 9/11. It was challenging during the recession in 08 and 09. But this is something that it's just, you know, really very, I guess challenging is the word. It's challenging economically. It's challenging people's ability to make sure that they're keeping their family safe. And then, you know, we talked about the mental aspect of it as well, that there's so many things that people are going through. So I just encourage you to stay safe, follow the guidelines, but also reach out to people who may be struggling right now too, people who live alone. I just feel like, you know, we are such a tight-knit community, and that's what's made McKinney a very special place. And I think now we're more than ever, we've got to keep that going. And, you know, just like DeAndre said, so an example, we're really working on trying to produce as many webinars as possible to help provide information. And so give us some ideas for topics, because one topic, you know, like DeAndre said, she's struggling because she's home trying to homeschool her kids and work and do all kinds of different things. And I think, you know, that's a stressor that is being placed on families. And then you have, you know, we have people who I know that live alone. And so, you know, being isolated is mentally challenging. You know, our human spirit is really about being connected, where that's just how we're wired. And so thank God we have technology like Zoom to where we can actually see each other's faces and hear each other's voices, and social media. Actually, this is, you know, I was getting really frustrated with social media because it just seems like it was just constant, you know, could be negative or political or whatever, you know, people always talking. And then when this crisis came out, I was like, wow, it was just really great to be able to connect with so many people and see so many positive stories. So it was like the good side of social media. So just keep those stories coming and share with us again, like what challenges you have or ideas you have for webinars that, you know, how to work remotely. You know, Grande Communications, I'm so glad you're on this call, because I think now we know why it's so important to be able to have the bandwidth to hop on these calls and work remotely. So thank you for joining the chamber and the work that you're doing as well. Anything else that we missed? All right, well, I just want to say thank you all again for being here. Please use us as a resource, even if it's just to call and check in and talk. I mean, we've found that is just important right now, just to be able to connect with you. And if you've got frustrations, and we may not have the answers, but we can always be an ear. And maybe we do have some answers too, or we know some people who can help get you those answers. So please do use us as a resource, and take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and we're going to get through this together because we are McKinney strong.